Hey, sports card fans, it's John Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. It is almost exactly 1 month until the National. I'm starting to get really excited, really looking forward to it. And so I thought I would do this video to go over some of my thoughts and goals for the show. Starting off with some of the thoughts. This is going to be my first time going to a National in Cleveland. All but one of the Nationals I've attended have been in Chicago. I did go to the most recent one in Atlantic City. It'll be interesting to see the layout and the space and how the dealers versus the corporate booths are set up, whether they're going to be separated or thrown all together. It would be interesting to see how that space works out. Obviously, my primary interest is going to be vintage, so we'll see how much I have to walk around to find different vintage tables. My personal belief is I would love it if they had tables arranged by era or interest. There'd be one section for vintage, and then one that has a mixture, and then one for modern. But I know that's not going to happen. But yeah, it would be interesting to see just how the space works, layout works, how the Wi-Fi works or doesn't work. I'm expecting that it's probably going to be some pretty nice weather. Hopefully the AC holds up, all those little things that have been brought up from previous Nationals. Also, the fact that there are no hotels right near the convention center like Chicago, so we're all going to be pretty spread out. It'll be interesting to see dealing with the travel time. In Atlantic City, I was close enough that I was able to walk back and forth to the convention center. In Chicago, I was right near the convention center. But I have had experience in previous Nationals at Chicago, staying south of the convention center with a nearby a fellow Boggs collector to hang out with him as well. So I had about at least a 45-minute drive just to get to the convention center from where I was staying. So I am used to traveling back and forth for the show. So I don't think that's going to be, at least for me, that big of an issue. I am going to be staying at the Hotel RL Cleveland Airport West. So would love to know in the comments if any of you are staying at that same hotel. I believe Mike Baseball Collector and some of the people traveling with him are staying at that hotel as well. But would love to know, again, since we're all going to be spread out, would be nice to know if any of you are staying at that same hotel as well. Maybe we can do some carpooling and things like that. I am going to be there Wednesday through Sunday. Every day of the show, I am going to be there. I'm going to be arriving sometime on Tuesday and then heading back home on Monday. Wade Boggs is scheduled to be there. He's going to be there on Sunday afternoon, so I'm going to stick through Sunday to get a chance to meet with him again, have something signed by him, do a photo op, and just get a chance to see him again. So I'll be staying through the Sunday. And the last thought I have, it's pretty much with every show. There's nothing special about the National, but as the economy and prices and all the stuff that's been going on and ever changing in the hobby, the main question is, okay, are there going to be dealers that are going to be willing to work and negotiate on price? You're going to get some that are going to be great to deal with, make you fair offers, and there are going to be others that are going to stick to their gun and maybe not drop much from their asking price. So the goal for me is to not only find cards that I'm interested in, but also dealers or cards with those dealers that are more willing to work with me on either package deals if I buy more than one card, or just on a single purchase. How much are they willing to maybe meet more of the price that I'm willing to pay for a card. So we'll see. I know there's going to be a lot of the same, if not most of the same dealers as last year's National. I know there were some at Strongsville that also are going to be at the National, and there were some that were more willing than others to negotiate. So nothing different or special about the National, but that's what I'm going to be looking at to find those dealers that are willing to work with me. Again, not necessarily sell things at rock bottom prices, but again, maybe work with me, maybe get closer to comps if their prices are initially, above comps, maybe have some wiggle room there. So we'll see. So for particular goals, now I'm going to have, I just have some notes over here. I'm going to have about the same budget as I did at last year's National. Last year, it wasn't a make or break, but I had really wanted and was hoping to find a 1954 Bowman Ted Williams. And I was fortunate enough to be able to find one in a grade and price point that still left me a decent amount of money in my budget to buy a bunch of other cards. This year, I don't necessarily have a big card that I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to try to keep, as I normally do, I want to stretch my budget, whether it's my normal hobby budget or my National budget. I like to stretch it as far as I can. So I that's not to say, though, that I won't find a card that is on one of my lists here that I'm going to go over that may be a really good deal. The card speaks to me or something, and I may decide to pivot a little bit and maybe spend more of my budget on one card versus more cards at a lower price point. So I'm leaving myself wide open in terms of different options in which way I want to go. But if I have to put some targets that I may be more on the lookout for, obviously, there are going to be cards on my 100 cards for $100,000 list. Those are the ones that have the higher price point to them at this point. And with the money I have saved up for the National, it'll be easier for me to buy maybe a $200, $300, $400 card as opposed to my normal, say, monthly card budget where I'd have to really save up a little bit and to get one of those cards. So some of the ones that I would be interested in or have more of a focus to try to find. And the first three are ones that are just ones that I don't want this to sound the wrong way, because I really like the cards, but I just want to get them off my list. I just want to have them part of my collection so I can say I finally have them and I can move on. And that's the 68 bench rookie, the 73 Schmidt rookie, and the 69 Reggie Jackson rookie. I've had those as sort of targets since I've put that list together, which is probably close to 2 years old now, I think, maybe. And I just, those are cards where they're not rare. They're not hard to find, but finding the right one with the right eye appeal, and what's really been stymieing me is the price point. And what I may have to do is, back away from trying to find the best bargain out there. And if I find a card that has the eye appeal that I want in the relative price point, maybe just, take a crowbar to the wallet and pay that extra $20-$30 or whatever, and just say, I finally got the card, even though I may be paying maybe slightly higher than comps, just to get it off the list, and I can say I finally own those cards. So those are the three that I guess I would really like to walk away with the show, just to have them done. Other ones I'm going to target, I'd like to fill in more of the Ted Williams cards that I'm missing. Lately, I have picked up, this year so far, I picked up the 58 and 57 Ted Williams. I picked up the 57 at Strongsville. So I would be potentially looking at his 56 tops, his 55 tops. The 1954 number 1, I have his number 250. So the 1954 tops the card number 1. And then another one that I would really like, again, working on one of my player ones, is of Warren Spahn. Starting to whittle away here and there, making good progress on that. And one of the Bowmans that is eluded me so far is his 1950 Bowman. I have his rookie card, his 49 Bowman, his 51 Bowman, his 52 Bowman, his 53 Bowman, but I'm missing the 1950 Bowman. There's one on eBay right now. It's been sitting out there. It's a little high priced. I think the seller is willing to accept an offer. I'm just a little bit. I'd like to see one in person at the National if possible. If not, that could be a fallback if that card doesn't sell on eBay. So those are my main ones off of that 100 cards for $100,000 list. And of course, I have the 100 vintage cards for $10,000 list. No one in particular that I'm going to be targeting there, but that's sort of like my fallback. They're lower priced cards. I think the most expensive card is probably one of the Roberto Clemente's at maybe $200. There are a couple at the $150, $125, and then a lot of the stuff is like $100, hopefully less. Those may be fillers that once, hopefully, if I pick up some of the cards on the larger list and I have a little bit of money left, maybe I can pick up a couple of the ones off of that list. Although, again, I'm going to leave myself, give myself some flexibility there that if I just can't pull the trigger on some of the larger cards, then I have no problem going down and just buying a lot of the ones off of the $10,000 list and spread my money even further. So I'm just going to see what's out there inventory wise, deal wise, and just go with the flow and see what happens. Then, of course, there are the 13 cards that I'm missing from the 1978 top set. There may be some. I don't think I'm going to bother going through any binders because even if there are cards in there, being binder cards, the ones I'm missing are some of the Hall of Famers and some of the higher end rookie cards, the Eddie Murray, the Molitor Trammell. Those are the two big ones that I still need in ungraded form. They're not going to be in binders, and if they are, they're not going to be in the condition that I'm looking for. So they would have to be ones that a dealer has on display, ungraded, and so who knows, maybe I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. I think my best bet ultimately is going to try to find ones off of eBay. I just haven't done it yet, but there are 13 that I need. And then, of course, there's the squirrel cards, the cards that aren't not necessarily on any list of mine, although they would be Hall of Famers, so they would be on my master list of trying to get all the Hall of Famers from all the sets from 1948 to 1980. I don't consider that a focus set or whatever, but it's because it's so huge. But these would all be Hall of Famers that would fit under that category. One of the ones, again, for my Warren Spahn run, I'm missing his 55 tops, his 54 tops, and his 52 tops. I really like his 52 tops. I've been tempted to go after that card when I'm doing my searching for Warren Spahn for the 100 cards for $10,000 list. Every once in a while I come across a listing for 52 tops, and I go, man, I really like that card. So I could actually see myself picking up a 52 tops Warren Spahn again if it's the one with the right centering and price point and things like that. So those would be my squirrel cards, and who knows, there could be other squirrel cards that I find that just speak to me, that I may not have even thought of until I actually see them in the display case, which is really nice in my position where I am in my vintage collection with so many cards I still don't have yet, that I can come across a card and just something about it speaks to me, and I can go ahead and get it because I don't have it in my collection. So who knows? I know another one that I thought of is I think it's the 51 Bowman Yogi Berra. Just love that image. We'll see. Again, they're I'm leaving myself wide open, not pigeonholing myself on, hey, I want to look for these two 2 or 3 cards, and if I don't find it, then okay, I'm not going to spend the money, or I'm going to be disappointed. I know if you hung out with me at Strongsville, you know that if I bring money to a show, I want to spend the money. I've been saving for the National literally for a year. Since last year's National ended, I've been setting money aside every pay and building up my budget for the National. So I'm going to have fun at the National. No matter what, I'm going to be walking away with cards that I really like, that I need for my collection. And I would be shocked if I don't spend every single penny of the budget that I bring. Because again, there's so many cards that I don't have. There's bound to be ones that I can pick up to add to my collection. So beyond the thoughts and goals, I will be attending the YouTube get together on Thursday. Really looking forward to that. And the final thing I want to talk about, and in a video maybe a month ago or so, Dave Blue Jacket 66 mentioned this. I am terrible with names, and I freely admit it. I'm good with faces that, oh, I've met you before, I know who you are, and sometimes just the name just doesn't click. So if you see me at the National 1, please come up and say hi. I would love to meet you, say hi to you, but unless, and you would know who you are, that we obviously know, and we're fairly good friends through YouTube and stuff. But if you're one that comments a lot on my videos, and when you come up and say hi to me, please do. But please also let me know your name and maybe YouTube handle, because I may not remember everyone's name. I know it's just, I want to throw that out there because I'm embarrassed about it, but it's just my nature. I'm terrible with names, and I don't want to get embarrassed. So please, when you come up to me to say hi, just remind me again who you are. Now, of course, obviously, if we know each other very well, you don't have to do that, and I'm sure I'll get joked and mocked. I'll have some of my good friends come up to me and telling me what their name is. But anyway, that's my general thoughts and goals on the National. Would love to know what some of your goals are. Do you have a card or two or more that you are targeting for the National? Again, would love to know how many days you're going to be there, if you're staying at the hotel that I'm at, and any other general comments about the National. Would love to hear it. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.